people ask me, a lot of inquiries, you know, what type of camera to use, what different things to use. Normally, I don't give this information out. No, I'm just joking. But I'll start with my camera. This is basically my main setup here. So what you have is your flexible, you know, it's like a tripod, like that. So I can set it anywhere. I can hook it on branches. I can do whatever I need to do with it. So I kind of want to give an overlay of everything for like the new Bigfooter. Somebody that's really, they don't know what to get into or what to do. So if you're going to buy a camera, a lot of people use the DSLRs. They're not very rugged in the woods though. And what happens is you'll end up scratching it or breaking it, and a lot of them are very expensive. I mean, this is an expensive camera. When I bought it new, it was like $900. But the way I looked at it is if I'm going to be wanting to make good videos, if I'm getting out there wanting to show you what it is, I'm going to need better quality. So this is a Panasonic, right here, 4K camera. The reason I suggest getting 4K is in the future, everything is going to be going 4K. So kind of, you're proofing yourself for technology, okay? Everything that I'm going to show you here today, just some quick things. I'll put links down on the bottom. If you're interested in it, go ahead, check them out. Everywhere, you know, where I've purchased this, where I've purchased my other products. I've got backup batteries. This one's a little bit bigger. The standard battery that goes on this camera is smaller. You'll get about 2 hours out of that battery. This battery here, at least 3.5. So that gives you some good time. That's, you know, you need that in the woods. You don't want to be changing batteries. You already carry enough. So we're trying to limit what we have. What do I want to say about this? Very clear picture. A lot of people say, hey, you know, I feel like I'm right there with you. Okay, it's your 5.1 channel zoom, so it kind of, for your audio, it picks up all the way around. It does a really good job. It has a shoe adapter, which is right here, and you can add extra mics or lights or anything. They actually sell this with a kit. That's what I have. It's got all the accessories to it. It's got your flip out window here, which goes all the way so you can, you know, record yourself or whatever you want. It also has a side camera here, which will show up where you can, as you can see my thumb right there. So, you know, if I'm doing an interview or if I'm walking through the woods and I want to talk to you guys can see me and still see, you know, what's going on out there. A lot of times I don't like to use it because people will bitch and say, I can't see the woods. So, you know, we only use it certain times. This is a Panasonic WX970. Has Wi-Fi built in. It's got an iOS optic system in it. I think it's a Leisha lens. Some people say Leisha, some people say Laisha, whatever. It's got a 25 times zoom on it. Okay, it has different types of zoom. It's like a digital zoom, which will go up to like 1500, which is outstandingly amazing. But a lot of times you don't need to use that. It is touchscreen, so anything that you want to go ahead and, you know, you can access it right from here on your screen. It's made of, I don't know, can you hear that? It's like a durable, it's not plastic, it's like a polymer almost, which is awesome. It comes with different lenses if you get the kit, so you can go wide angle. I put this on here and I leave this on here. If you can see, that does stay closed, but when you open that, it will open automatically. The cover though, I leave this because we hit so many branches and go through so many things that this kind of protects it up here a little bit. So if it hits it, it bounces off, and I've gotten it wet. I haven't dropped it in the water or the creek, but I've gotten it wet, and I mean, I haven't had any issues with it. Knock on wood. But, you know, this is a really good, it's called a prosumer camera. So if you're really interested in taking good video and being, you know, technology proof, ready for everything to transfer to 4K, you have your camera. It's not that heavy, as you can see. That's the last thing you want, is a heavy piece of equipment. I'm actually going to be looking into getting a gimbal for this, because that's the only qualm I have about any camera out there. When you're walking, you're going to have these issues. No matter you're uphill, you're downhill, it's just the way it works. So I'm going to be getting a gimbal for this. So when I hold it, you know, if I'm moving, that camera is going to stay like glass, because I want to be able to give you guys a better quality video. Like I said, Panasonic WX970. I think they make new models now. This is about 2 years old. I think they make a 991 and a few other things, but it's great. You know, you got your charger. You can add headphones. I mean, you can really, you could shoot a movie with this if you really wanted to. Very high quality. This is just your standard, like I said before, tripod, three-way, whatever you want to call it. I think I bought this at Target. They're like $24. Really heavy-duty rubber, works nice. You know, we used to use a tripod. Sometimes I will keep the big regular standard tripod with this. If we're going to sit at a core location for a while, I break that out, and what I'll do is I'll just, you know, set it up and let it video in that direction while I have other cameras going. Next, for the beginner Bigfooter, if you're going to get into any type of audio, recording audio or anything like that, I have two different ones that I use, okay? H4n Zoom, very, very, very high quality, okay? This recorder, they run about, at the time, about $200. It's got directional mics that spin, so you can get 120 degrees, 90 degrees on both of them, and it picks up a broader range. It's a 4-channel stereo. It's amazing. I've picked up planes, you know, at 40,000 feet with this. The only downside, there's one downside with this. The batteries do not last a long time, okay? You'll probably get somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 hours. That is it. I've tried multiple different types. Energizer, Duracell, don't matter what it is. They do, however, make a setup for this where it's it can either be on solar, I believe, or another type of setup where you run an external power to a bigger battery bank and so on and so forth. So it can last longer, because let's face it, we're recording, and what do we do with this? We leave it in the woods overnight. You know, that's why I have this one. If I'm just going to do a quick overnight, I'll use my Zoom, the H4n. If I want longevity and I know I'm not going to be there for, let's say, 3 days, I will use my standard Sony right here. Standard Walmart brand. I'll put all the links down below so you guys can check all this stuff out. These are cheap. I think about $50. I've had 3 or 4 of these. I've actually sent a few to a few friends that wanted to do audio, and it works really well. We've got some very, very good stuff just on this little one. It has different settings where, like, if you're doing a lecture, if you're doing an interview, if you're close up, it'll tell you, you know, it gives you the option, hey, choose this. I usually leave it on, like, lecture, like in a big hall, so it'll, you know, it'll hear at a farther range, farther distance. I really like it. This is just, it's light, it's small, you know, I can put it in my pocket. We can leave it on our backpacks when we're walking through the woods. You never know what you're going to catch, you know. So this is the Sony. I don't know if it has a model number on it. I can look really quick. Really doesn't. But it's all SD, micro SD card. It works great. You can put your mic in if you need to, your headset up here. You can erase from here. You can also listen from here. It almost does everything this big one does here, except have your extra ports and so on and so forth. This one has record levels up and down. So this is more extensive, but it does not give you the time range at all that you'll get out of this one. I've actually had this run with a 64 gigabyte card for just about 5 days straight. It took me, oh Lord, to go through the audio for all of that, almost a month. So just know, if you're going to be recording audio and doing those things, it takes time to listen to it all. You don't want to skip spots. because a lot of times what we've learned is the spots that really, when you, let me say this, when you put the SD card in and you get up your program, and you'll see all the sound waves and so on and so forth, it usually seems you'll catch language or the audio or the other things where the graph has not peaked. It's kind of those silent sections that you really have to look at. But anyway, enough about that. That was the Sony. Next, if you're going to be doing anything at night, okay, you need a good light. Headlamp, guys. Here it is. They call this the ďİ़roᴏ RJ3000. As I said, I'll find the links and I'll put them down there for you. This is kind of heavy. It's an LED, as you can see, it says LED. And the batteries are these big ones like this. I think they're like $18 for two of them, but it does come with it. They're the 2000 mAh, the 18650s they're called. There's an actual name for them, but I forget right now. And this light is the brightest light that I've ever used hunting, fishing, bigfooting, anything. As you can see, that's just one of them, and there's three. You can go, two by themselves, the one in the middle, all three. Strobed it. It's awesome. If you will not go wrong with this headlamp ever. Hunting, fishing, bigfooting, hiking, I don't care what it is. Tilts up, down. This is the brightest headlamp you will find on the market today. They are roughly $40, but it's well worth it. Trust me. High quality banding. Even the way it's attached on the side. Normal standard ones are all loopy and roped out, and they're junk. So if you're going to get a good headlamp, get this one. Like I said, all the links will be down below. Click, check them out. What else do we use? Your standard monopods that are all retractable, so on and so forth. Because let's face it, if you don't have a steady shot in the woods, what good is it? You can get out there and people really don't understand how tough it is walking around and trying to get the shots that you need. So this is a Manfrotto. I'll show that to you. The actual model on it is the MMC3 T2 193814. It's very light. It's like aircraft aluminum. This is actually the first one I used. And I like this here, this little lip. It has a little lip. See that right there? Because when I hold it, it would help sit on my hand like that. And it would just be balanced and feel comfortable. I really liked it. It almost acted like a counterweight in a way. If I were to just, leave this down with some more weight like that, it was like a stabilizer in a way, and you'd get some really good shots. So we use this. I'll put that on the Panasonic sometimes or on some of the other cameras. But this is like my main stuff, and this is just some stuff for the new bigfooters coming in. What will they need? What should they use? This is kind of your breakdown here. I have another one, a regular Targus monopod. This is more comfortable. Use this for when you're really hiking. It's a little more heavy duty than the Manfrotto, especially the base where it has your spike and adjustable settings. I really like it, and it's got a real comfortable hand grip. I do recommend this if you're going to be, even just hiking. If you're going to be getting out there, buy this one. It's heavy duty. The Manfrotto is really good for good shots and having a stable platform to work off of. Next, what do we have here? EMF detector. Standard, I think it's a 10 Mars. They run about $75. This one is an EMF and ELF meter. Why do we take this? There's other things out there besides Bigfoot. When you want to find high energy spots, which I believe Sasquatches are attracted to, the vortices that they've talked about for hundreds of thousands of years, that Indians have talked about, these specific areas. If you have this, sometimes you'll get them fluctuations. And in those fluctuations, that's a hot zone. That's a vortice. That is things we do not understand. You'll get spikes 7, 8, 10, 12, whatever it may be. You know you're in a hot zone. And usually it'll be like a circled area. And what I've noticed by using this right here, Sasquatches are attracted to those high energy areas. And usually when you find those high energy areas, within, I'd say, 100 yards of that, you will find usually tree structures. You usually find foot tracks or something, you know, where they've been coming in and out, so on and so forth. And the next thing I want to show you is these. These are awesome. These are made by Alpha, and I have a bunch of them, probably about 10 of them. I'm going to be using them in the winter. I'm going to be using them in the summer to keep the bugs out of my mouth. It looks awesome. There's so many different designs, guys. They're so comfy. They're stretch. I mean, I can't say enough good things about this mask. They really are awesome. They've got all kinds of designs. This one, I believe, says 1776. It's like a constitutional mask. And I know they're running a special, or they were recently. I mean, they make camel for hunters. They make so many different styles. I will get the link for their site. Go down there. It's their Alpha masks. They're awesome. You know, a lot of times you get the masks, they're so tight, or they're not, you know, they don't fit right. These fit great, and it'll sit like right here. You know, a lot of times you get in the woods, you got bugs in your mouth, you're getting slapped in the face. You really need something to cover here, you know, and they're not bad. You know, they'll help in the winter, and they're not real heavy where it'll affect you in the spring and the summer. Okay, so next. Oh, by the way, this is the windbreak for the zoom. Really helps cut the noise down. Next, flashlights galore. I don't even know what they are. There's so many models. This one has a dimmer on it. It's probably dead, but as you can see, well, you really can't see, but it makes squares. The whole setup, when you turn it, different size squares on the wall. It's awesome. LED. This one is the XLM-T6 Ultrafire. Ultrafire. Awesome little light. It extends like that. You turn it on, wham. Gives you your square, opens it up. Great light. If you're going to get one, get the Ultrafire. Again, I'll leave a link. I have the Through Night here. Through Night, this one's actually probably dead. Oh no. This is a very bright light. If you're going to spend $45 on a flashlight, along with your, you know, your headgear, Through Night. Right there. What it is you turn it on, and it's got like 5 different settings. Super low to super bright. One of the brightest flashlights. It's aircraft aluminum. You know, it's got your pocket protector thing. You can just stick it there. Great light. We also use a blood tracker just in case, you know, get your Roy G. Biv colors in there. You can buy them standard anywhere. I do have another flashlight, which is an IR. It's basically used for my Panasonic. It's a flashlight just like this. And what happens is it's an IR light. You can't see it, but when you turn the camera on, because that is a night vision camera, the Panasonic is night vision capable. So what happens is sometimes you want to brighten up the woods behind you, and you get yourself an IR flashlight. You know, got the camera on night mode, and bam, there you go. And you know, it'll get you out an extra 30 or 50 yards, lighting up the woods, so you can actually see out there. Because the range on the night vision is maybe 25, 30 yards maximum. But when you really add a light or IR spotlight, it does tremendous things. Okay, and if you're really serious about researching, the last thing I'm going to tell you about is our kit for our DNA samples. We use standard test tubes. Stop using bags. Please stop using bags, okay? People have said bags are fine for 100 years. Have we ever gotten DNA? There you go. Use test tubes. Why do labs use test tubes? There's a reason. Do you see labs using paper bags? No. So I get these offline, standard glass test tubes with your tops. I get them by the 1,000, so I'll buy like 1,000 and I'll never really have to buy them again unless you're getting that many samples. But in a good kit, you're always going to want a good tape measure. You know, if you're measuring prints, what distances, you know, this is your standard 25-foot tape measure. I keep a knife in here just in case I need it. This is a little airbrush. So, like, air comes out of it. So if you're, you know, like archaeologists use, you brush it away. If you did find something or a bone or you don't want to touch something, you can use this. What else do we have? You're going to need, I don't like touching them, but you're going to have your standard pair of tweezers. I always use boiling hot water to clean these off every time before I'm going to use them or take them out in the field. You'll need that in your kit. I always leave a little multi-tool in there just in case I need it for something. Doesn't matter what. You're going to need your standard pair of scissors just in case if you want to, you know, you find a few hair samples, you want to split them up into different vials. You're going to need yourself a good standard pair of gloves in your kit. I always recommend swabs, standard Q-tips wrapped. Keep some swabs in there. You'll really need it. Zip ties I keep in there. I keep, you know, a lot of things. But these are all the things you're going to need to really get started if you're trying to prove something exists. And I wanted to get this out there because a lot of people have asked me, you know, what do you use for this and what do you use for that? And I can't really answer, you know, every question. It's physically impossible. It really is. You know, even our electric scooter, we have about 3 of them. Awesome. When you're trying to cover trails and certain things like that, electric scooters are great. They're lightweight. Well, not lightweight. That one probably weighs like 60 or 70 pounds. I'll get you the name to that, and I'll have a link for the electric scooter down below also. LED headlight, they're awesome. Get you where you need to go. Rugged tires, so on and so forth. I think the battery lasts about 4 to 5 hours. The problem is, if I find a core location and it's, you know, 3 miles one way and 3 miles the other way, that takes time. So you have to walk there, right? You get tired of doing that. So what happens is you get lazy. When we get tired, we get lazy, okay? So if I'm out there and I have to walk 3 miles just to get there, I'm tired. Then I have to look around for sign and find the Bigfoot and the core areas and the tracks or the hair or anything that I'm looking for. What happens when you're tired? You get lazy, just like I said. So I might miss something. So we devised this solution to ride these electric scooters. You get there, boom, you're ready to go. You get your 5 hours in or whatever it is that you're searching, and you get right back out. You can cover that, you know, terrain 3 miles that quick. I'll try to get a quick picture of this here. Okay, so there it is, LED headlight. The tire is beefy. It's got brakes and everything on it. You'll roughly get, let's say, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours out of it. You know, the electric battery's great. Sealed, waterproof, no issues. So like I said, this is just some things that we use out in the field. I actually picked something else up. These are made by Ozark Trail. Flashlight, check it out. It's steel, but it's made like a baseball bat for protection purposes. If you were to whack somebody with this, you know, let's face it, there's women Bigfooters that go out and, you know, a lot of them don't like to carry guns, and a lot of people don't carry guns while they're Bigfooting. So sometimes you need protection, and this is, you know, it's got your hand grip right on it. It's made like a ball bat, and I tell you, you'll knock somebody out if you were to hit somebody with this. Made by Ozark Trail. It's awesome. Standard outdoor equipment. I think it takes 4 AA. Yeah, you unscrew the bottom. It's got your plug right there where you touch. It's waterproof too. You know, what I do is a lot of times on the backpacks, this is like a backup light for me. You'll have your slits that go down the side of the backpack, and I kind of just stick that right in there, and it fits perfectly. So it's just something that I wanted to, you know, show you guys. All right, last but not least, you're going to need some way to communicate. Hello, Moto. Motorola's are usually the best for the price. Usually there's, I don't know, I've got about 8 of these. But anybody that is out in the woods should have one, should know how to use one, should be linked on the same channel. Let's face it, you need to communicate day or night. We do a lot of day footing. A lot of people go bigfooting at night. I like to be able to see when I'm trying to look for Bigfoot. You know, I don't like tripping over logs and so on and so forth. It gets old. So get yourself, you know, these are waterproof. I'll send you a link down below in the video. I'll try to have links for everything down here. So if you guys want to check it out, purchase it yourself, you can go ahead and look. And last but not least, here is the secret weapon. The weapon of all weapons. Did you hear that? Anyway, just joking, guys. Look at it. I have had success with this right here. They are like limited time, limited versions. I've got about 8 left. Not selling them, not getting rid of them. But if you can find cotton candy balls, they're made by Hares, I would say that says. They're $5 for this big thing. Okay, guys? Sasquatch love these. Okay? Everybody says, try peanut butter, try this, try that. You have to do this, you have to do that. Figure out what works for you when you find their core locations. This isn't an educational video. I'm not trying to teach you how to find Bigfoot. I'm trying to show you what we use. But this right here, if you're habituating and everything that you're doing, and you can get your hands on these, I would almost guarantee that you will have photos of Bigfoot or a video of Bigfoot or some type of visual encounter with a Bigfoot. I don't know if it's the sugar. I don't know what it is, but there's something about this product right here. I've tried to use, I don't know how many different products to bring them around. This 85% of the time works. And that's a high percentage. So I just wanted to put that out there. HERRS. Sweet and crunchy cotton candy balls. Oh, and the weird thing is, they'll eat these and not leave any crumbs anywhere. So next time you're sitting in your lounge chair eating like Doritos or cotton candy balls, try to leave no crumbs, because that's what they do. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Wanted